A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Let's talk about the D10 today. It's an interesting topic because D10 relates to our daily life. It's the job that we do, and we have to live on this planet called Earth. For that we have to feed ourselves and we need to work. So let's talk about one aspect of D10 today, the 8th house. The 8th house always brings in a lot of fear in our hearts. Why? Because it's the house of uncertainty. But it does denote something well for us also when connected with the D10. Let's talk about it. But before that, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels. Not only that, you have written in your comments your suggestions and we thank you for it, and let's begin now. The 8th house in any chart is said to be the house of uncertainties. It's the house of changes and ups and downs. When we talk about the 8th house, we know that there's certain something that can come our way, and that can be a very sudden change that can put our entire that can spin our entire axis on a very different level, and a head can actually go for a big spin. More so with our careers, because it's the careers for us that put the food on the table. So in this competitive world, the 10th D10 is a very important part. And the 8th house, when we talk about the dasha, the planets placed there, we are very skeptical, we are very in awe of that. We should be, because it does change things. The 10th lord, when it is placed in the 8th house, is it that bad? Well, the 8th house is not all that bad, because the 8th house talks about managing other people's finance. It could give you a career in managing other people's finance for you. It could give you a career in the world of medicine, because the 6, 8, 12 when connected with the 10th house does show the area of medicine. It is the house of disease. And when the 10th lord, especially in the D10, is connected with the 6, 8, 12, you can be a good surgeon of repute. What more, you could also be dealing with chronic disorders that are very rampant in the world. The 8th house is the house where you dig in deep, when you dwell into a lot of topics, and as such is also showing your area of research. So people who have a very strong 8th house or who have the 10th lord in the 8th house also show the area of research. Obviously, they have a lot of ups and downs, they will show problems, but nevertheless they will be able to connect well. Let's talk about an area that can also the 8th house can show. If your chart also shows that your 10th lord is in the 8th house, the 8th house is also the area of occult. It is also the area of sadhana. So you could be on the path where you could be helping others to do their sadhana. You could be doing occult, you could be into astrology, numerology, vastu, all these areas of life. So if you want to get your chart checked and you want to see whether you're fit for it or not, working in these fields, you need to see the placement of your 10th lord. And if it is connected with the 8th house, 8th lord, obviously you can make a career there. Last but not the least, it is also the house where you would find people doing great sadhana, people traveling abroad, people teaching others how to move into the path of sadhana. For example, in Yogananda Paramahansa's chart, you find that his 10th lord being his lagna being in the D10 being that of Leo. Leo itself shows a huge impressive personality, or your career being very huge. And then Venus, which is the 10th lord, being there in the 8th house. One thing you see here is it is in the D10 exalted. So you have a name and fame in your career, and your career can relate to something which is occult, which is research, which is in sadhana, deep in sadhana, but it is also with the ninth lord. So it also makes you a guru of many, and it gives you travel because it's in the sign of Pisces. Venus is exalted there and it's in the sign of Pisces. Pisces also means travel abroad. So we know that Yogananda Paramahansa had traveled abroad, and he also gained a lot of name and fame abroad, especially in the US, with the kind of sadhana that he did and the teachings that he had. Okay, so you can always say that the 8th house here is not that bad, and the placement of the 10th lord in the 8th house is also very well. Why? Because it's in the 11th from itself. Again, it's placed in a upchay bhav from itself. There is growth, there is promise, but again it will also have its share of ups and downs, and every change that it brings, embrace it, because the change will help you grow higher up in the scale. So till we meet with you again, stay safe. Thank you.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.